Someone had a question?
Yeah, on the context basically, and so I have this debate, let's say, in my mind. One of the, let's say, a simple use case, right? So one of the things I did recently was basically having co-work, going through 3 different platforms, pulling data from all of them, and then putting up a report, and then scheduling it to do that every week, right? So we have the weekly project reporting for a project. And I know how important context is, and I know how you need to basically outline everything and give the guidelines in order to make sure that it's the best outcome. Although I had this debate that on the one hand, yes, I will give it all the context I can. On the other hand, let's say on the final product and the report outline, shouldn't it be able, based on all the data and the background and everything that Anthropic has at this point, be able to determine what the best outcome will be, right? Because I might go into one direction, but there might be something else that I didn't even think about, right? So I'm constantly basically balancing between, do I want to give it all the context and make sure it's the best one, or I might don't have some, I might be missing some, so I want it to.
You don't want
drive
to
me
be
there.
scripted.
Yeah,
Totally prescripted.
exactly.
Yeah, no, and
So where's the balance? That's the question.
it's the balance. And there's no answer to it except to recognize there has to be a balance.
Yeah.
Right? And the other thing is, that's no different than how we always worked. Whether we were talking to a BA talking to an engineer, or a BA talking to a user, you had to strike the balance of providing enough context to allow independent and creative thoughts that went outside of your little realm, right? You couldn't just let them go at it, because then they didn't have your context to ground it. That doesn't change. And that's the beauty. That's why none of what we're doing is seismically changing what we're doing. It's seismically changing how we're doing. Of course, we have a companion. So I just want to make one quick summarizing documents, summarizing emails. That's using AI to generate context, because it's contextualizing. Using that context to pump into an agentic AI, because it needs context, is the perfect example of the virtuous. How do we use AI to accelerate the better use of AI? Right? And we'll talk about it in the data governance aspect.
Yeah, so basically, no, I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. What is it?
Yeah, I think the reason that you all and we all feel that we have a companion now, that we are almost like a one-man army, able to accomplish so much more, is basically because now you found a machine is able to synthesize the information we are getting. We are giving it documents and documents. That's why it's able to code by itself, because it knows how to capture all that information. If you give that all that information to an individual, they'll be crapping out. They'll be like, "I'm done. Thank you. I'll leave you on Monday." But with AI, I think all of us have found that possibility of just giving it enough. But that goes the other way also. Like, we probably sometimes give it just too much, and then it's hallucinating, and then we start talking about guardrails and all. And that's where the applicability of using AI to figure out, hey, is this the right path? Is this the right governance? Is this information in logs going in the right direction or not? That's the next level of AI. How do we use AI to basically make it better?